Jeff here with Magick Daddy Tarot, and I am doing my unique 4-card spread of a BDSM tarot reading. B stands for Bondage, D for Discipline, S for Sadism, and M for Masochism. And each one of those 4 letters is represented by these cards. Now, I shuffled the cards before we got started, and I randomly drew these 4 cards. And this is an example reading, but it's also a general reading, and I believe that it can apply to you today because the cards are always eager and willing to speak to us. And so this is the BDSM. B is for bondage in BDSM, and this card speaks to anything that we need to bind to ourselves, or anything that is in the negative is binding, is keeping us bound up or tied up. D is discipline, and it is the card of anything we need to, anything or person that we need to discipline, or with like rewards or punishments, or any kind of self-discipline type of thing that we need to do for ourselves. BDS, S is sadism, and that is some way that we need to exert ourselves in dominance, how to dominate a situation or dominate a person. Dominate means to go forth and to be like aggressive and assertive, and so even if it is painful for others. And then M is masochism, and masochism is it isn't just receiving pain, but it's taking the things that are painful to us and translating them into something of pleasure. And so B, D, S, and M. So for the first card that I pulled for B, or for bondage, is, let me see here, the Ace of Swords. And now the aces of any of the minor arcana are cards of like new, like something new. So this would be, because it's a sword, it would be a new thought, a new idea, it's something of that nature. And so B is something that we need to bind to ourselves, or something that is keeping us bound. So either an idea is a new idea we've had is causing us some type of anxiety or some type of worry, or something like that, or we're getting stuck in a new idea that we've had. That's one possibility. And the other possibility is, the more likely thing is, we need to bind to ourselves new and fresh ideas, new things that, new ways of doing some things. So out with the old and in with the new. That's the Ace of Swords. That's the B for bondage. D for discipline. And I pulled the Strength card. And on this card, you see this little girl, and she is taming the wild beast with all these different eyes and all those different teeth. She is fierce, and she is strong, and she is determined. So this is the Strength card. It's one of the major arcana. And so B was bondage, D is discipline. We really need to discipline ourselves to be strong. And all these cards will relate together. So we need to, when we bind those strong, or those fresh ideas to us, we need to have the strength to do that. And this card is saying we have the strength to tame even the wildest beast. And so the discipline as well is an area of self-discipline, as well as there may be some strongholds, some things in our lives that feel like a big giant beast. And the cards are telling us that we have the strength to overcome those things. And then this is a unique card. So bondage, discipline, sadism. And sadism here is, we pulled the Judgment card. Now, I really like the Judgment card. The Judgment card is one of the last 2 of the major arcana, and that means it's the part of the Fool's journey. And so the Fool goes through all types of things. The Fool reaches the tower where he has some kind of chaotic upset, and he overcomes that, and he goes through the star and the sun and the moon, and he gets here and he finally gets to judgment. And this is where the rubber meets the road. This is where you see this is supposed to be the angel. You can see his wings there. The angel is reaching down and casting judgment. And so this is really where we see if we're proven or not. And so what does that mean for a sadism? Is like sadists are people of dominance, and so you need to in this reading, it is something like you need to dominate or exert your force, knowing that when the rubber meets the road, that you have the strength to complete these new ideas. And so that is the judgment card. When the rubber meets the road, you're not found wanting. When judgment comes, you have the strength for these new ideas. So they all go together. And then so BDSM, masochism. Uh, Masochism is taking something that is painful and turning it into pleasure. And this is the Ten of Pentacles. Or sometimes in other suits, it's the Ten of Coins. And so this card here means abundance and prosperity, but kind of in the negative sense, it also represents, say it was reversed, but in the negative sense, it also means scarcity or a fear of scarcity, when in actuality you have the provision and you have the resources, but you may be acting out of a fear of scarcity. And so what you need to do is you need to take that fear of scarcity, and you need to put it aside, and you need to take the abundance that you have, and out of the abundance you need to take those fears and all of those things. It's like all of the things that you have access to are it cause you anxiety and cause you stress, and you need to turn away from those things and allow this abundance and prosperity that you have to become pleasurable for you. So all of your opportunities that lay ahead of you are causing you anxieties, is what I'm getting at. And so all of those opportunities, instead of them being anxieties, you need to instead of them being painful to you, you need to translate that pain into pleasure. And so you have these new ideas and you have the strength, and when the judgment comes, it'll show and prove that you're strong. And you also have the abundance of provision to accomplish all of these new ideas. And so in this season, we've already seen that in the season, the tone of this season is transformations. And so really this reading here is in line with what we already know about the cards. And so that's kind of an example reading, a general reading of the BDSM 4-card tarot reading that I came up with, and that's unique to me. And so hopefully maybe you'll want one of these types of readings. It'll definitely be a little different because I'm using this as a tutorial, as a teaching of it, and so it's a little more choppy, but in a more relaxed reading, I'll be able to give a more specific to your situation. And so I hope that you enjoyed how the cards spoke to you today. I'm really grateful that they are continuing to speak to us on transformation, and really continuing to reinforce that in this season. I hope you have a good evening, and be blessed.